good peoples. Good early morning. Early, late night, early morning on Wednesday. I'm late in getting this out. I made it yesterday, but apologize. This is my estimate, so probably be trading day on Wednesday that I'll come out with the actuals. So you'll get to see how I did pretty quickly. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time telling you what I use for this, just because I want to get this out quickly so somebody can watch it and have an idea of what these may be. But I scrubbed them pretty well, so I'll get into my next one on what all I did. I just wanted to get this in your hand. So TSLY, I've got interesting. eh, I've got a 67% yield, but I'm down about 9 cents. So I'm showing, and this is a tough one. They can do a lot of things here um, on Tesla, and it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they could pay 50 cents, they could pay 80 cents, but it did drop from the previous month. I don't know why my arrow is doing that, people. I just notice I'm showing like two arrows when I'm moving around. I'm not going to worry about it for the moment. I want to get this out. So up here in Tesla, when you look to the right, you see it dropped to $12. So it went down $1.54 from the previous month declaration to right up to the cusp of the declaration here. So that made me, and when I looked at the analysis of their spreads and their calls, um, they didn't have a great month in that sense. So Tesla, Misty, Coney, NVIDIA, a few of the higher, there's a few more now, higher yield guys that they don't always give you what you think they will. So I went with 62.5 to make a long story short. ARK, which I mentioned last week, and when I look at my sophisticated spreadsheet that's more like a database now, and a big giant table of historical and all this stuff, you start seeing on the 3 month, you pick up the trend, right? I see ARK doing very well lately. Okay, that's a big change, as you know, in the marketplace. So it was up 60 cents. So I'm looking at that saying, hey, they paid 30, 33, almost 32.98. I'm going with 36. They could pay 39. I mean, they could also pay 33. So, I did an estimate, just giving you little bits of what I looked at. Okay, let's go to GOOY. I've got GOOY at 32 cents. You want to look at the greens, right? And it's down 84 cents from the previous month, but overall it's really close on what they did with their calls and so forth. I've got even the 32 is giving it a higher yield because the price is lower, right? So it could easily be 30 cents or 29 cents or something. Look over here, and I've got 63 cents back in December. November was 28, 37. If you go back and you look at it history, it's gone up and down. So I'm going with 32, 29.09 yield. Zomo. All right. Exxon Mobil oil. Oh, it's been trending up a little bit, but overall flat to down over the last 3 to 6 months. Um, I've got 27 cents because they're down six, but I didn't see them making their usual amount of money when I looked at some of the summaries of the calls written. So I've got it at 27 cents. Again, what's it been? 24, 50, 33. It's all over the place. 34 last time. So this could easily be 30 or 31. I went with 27. All right, YBIT. Here's your crypto. They're now working off of I forget, IBIT more than BITO. And I think YBIT is stabilized. I mean, it's still down from 1250 to 1198. So it's still down 52 cents here from the previous month declaration leading to this guy. So I'm dropping it, right? I mean, crypto's down also, right? We were in the hundreds, and we're in the mid to lower 90s now. So looking at that, I gave it 58 cents. It's still a good yield, a 63-cent yield. And as that price is lower, it doesn't take that big a payment. Those dollar payments aren't going to happen too often, right? Although they did in November. What did we have? We had an election. Trump won, and everybody said, oh, Trump's positive crypto. Otherwise, it's 67, 77. You had a dollar 26. Last month, you had 78. So I'm going with 58 cents here. All right, let's jump to crash. Why is crash red? Because it's an inverse of Tesla or TSLY. You want to think of it like that. It's an income based on Tesla, short Tesla. All right. So down 85 cents still. I mean, this thing, or sorry, that is a positive. Whoops. Yeah, I can't fix it inside. Oh, you know what? I need to pick. That's why my mouse was doing that. There we go. Now I'm back to normal. I was operating anyway. When you get into the tool I'm using to broadcast and record these, um, it does a lot of sophisticated things, but it's a pain sometimes. I used to have all those microphone problems because I had two different mic setups. And I was always just telling it to use the one I wanted to use, but just having the other one plugged into it was giving me echoes and all kinds of crazy stuff. So anyway, it was up 85 cents. So I'm up on this from 28 to 39. This thing's not afraid to pay when it's doing well. It had a 37, a 37, and a 44 in previous months. I've seen it in the dollar when Tesla's really going down. And since Tesla was down and Crash was up, I brought the payment. Could this be 45? Sure. You just got to put a stake in the ground and go with what you feel. So snowy, snowflake, right? Snowy. I've got the same scenario. Look at them, up $1.73. They are trending, right? Snowflakes in that. It's like a little mini Palantir, not as large a language models, not as sophisticated, doesn't do as much at the end of the day, but it's still a very cool piece of software. And I got them paying 90 cents. They could pay 95 cents. They could pay 99 cents on this. I picked something, it's a 57% yield. They're showing a higher 30-day, but I don't trust it completely. Let's see what we get out of this. All right, TSMY. I got 60 cents. Now they're down $1.26 over the previous month. I had them at 65. This thing could well be in 55, 56, 57. Last week I was aggressive. I added up my total and then when the results came out, so that's a great thing to do. Let's see what mine is and we'll see what the actual is, right? There I am with right, peoples. Okay, that's the total. 60 cents. All right, let's go to YMAX and YMAG. All right, that's easy. You go back to Group D and you see what they paid. And if you use what they actually paid and forecasted, you're going to be up. So it's running somewhere 80 to 90% of what they paid out in the previous group. Um, so I went with an estimate. These aren't hard. You're not going to be off more than a penny or two in these, to be honest. So, it was 17.2 last dividend. I'm going with 17.5. At least I think that's what it was. I cleaned up some of these things. I hope I didn't mess that one up. And I got 12.8 for YMAG for the MAG 7. And part of it is around the yields. So we shall see. Part of the problem I've seen, and I made comments, we're actually on YMAX up. That's a good trend because YMAX has been trending down, 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 down. right? And I did not like it. And when you looked at total return on YMAX, it was down in the high 20s, low 30s because the NAV erosion was starting to dip in. I love it when a comment on my channel somebody said, "Oh, you've dipped yourself in NAV erosion oil." Like it's a prejudice I have against it. People, I say to everybody this, your data doesn't lie. You have two forms. You make an investment. You buy a single stock from YIELDMAX. You buy some fund from YIELDMAX, okay? And you collect your dividends along the way. I don't care what your dividend is. I love it. We all love high yield. Tesla can give me 80%. That's fantastic. If Misty can give me 130%, that's great. If Coney can give me, 85%, if Nvidia can give me 80 something percent in yield, love it, but it's only half the story, right? So just a reminder for new people, I know most of you guys get it. If you go out and you buy Misty at $44, and 6 months later you've been collecting $2 or $3 every month, you're happy about your yield, right? No question. But what if all of a sudden you need to sell, or you get a margin call, or you get something's going on, and you look and the stock's at $21 and you bought it at 44? Now people are going to say, well, Bruce, why would anybody not DCA in? Because not everybody operates that way. And even if you DCA in, you're still buying in. Ideally, you're still buying someone that's in the 30s. If you're just ignoring that, whatever goes from 45 down to 30 and bounces up to 50 or 55, if you waited for low 20s, you missed out. Okay. So sometimes you're going to have a high one. So when you calculate total return, you can't ignore it. Now, I've said to people, when you get total return, if my total return is equal, I have two funds. One gives me 21% and the other gives me 20.8, but one of them pays twice as much as the other one. It's just the NAV has gone down more. Then I say, go, if they both have the same total return, go to the one that pays you more along the way, because you're either reinvesting that or you're buying something else with that money. So I have no problem with that, but I have a problem when something pays 100% yield and went down 98%, and you say this is the best thing since sliced bread. I go, well, I don't know. Is 2% really that great a return? I can put my money in and T-bills or money market or something and get 4.5%. So you're underperforming safety and security, right? And that's what happened. You had something that they gave you 100% yield, but went down 98%. And don't think, so that's why it matters. All right, let me get back to this. So feet, these guys are newer. And, feet's got about a 47 and a half. This one's closer to 49. I think it's in the 48. So these are newer. They're hard to know exactly. Um, so I've got this one paying $1.62. Again, it paid 2.19, right? These are hard until they get a base in and I start experiencing, my estimates. Then I can adjust. So I'm going with $1.62 there, about a 46% yield. I'm down to a 28% yield on 5E, and I got $1.02. Remember, you're buying high price funds here. These are the ones that launched around $50, right? Same as Leffigy and Caputi. So speaking of that, that leads me into my crypto and tech, right? It's got a 75 and three quarters, IV over the last 30 days. So I'm showing it up a little, even though this is down slightly, not a lot. Um, I've got it paying 64 cents. So it's a 69% yield. Caputi, I got them up from 33 and a half. They're down 39% in NAV. But these are week to week NAVs, right? These are truly month NAVs. That's more of an indication of the trend. These weeks don't totally matter. They add up, but if you'd love to see a little bit of green here once in a while, right? To jump into that process, but 1 week doesn't make an immediate trend. So I got 41 cents. So altogether 804. Let's see what the payout. I don't track the, we're probably getting close. This is the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100, and the Russell with the zero DTE coming from YIELDMAX. These are going to start paying. Maybe SDTY pays on this one. I don't think I recall that it was for this week, but it could be. And so obviously I'll start tracking all that. All right, guys, wanted to get out this quickly. This is Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation, not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, for fun and entertainment. Have a great one. I'll be back in the morning with the YIELDMAX results. I've been avoiding doing Defiance, but I need to keep it in my database. So I'm going to come out with one, and that'll have over the last couple of weeks. And then I forget who else. I think Curve's got a payment also. So I'll get that out. All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye for now.